Well, we made it to Friday, the first Friday of fall. It's September 23rd, 2022. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com or on their Facebook page. Well, when we get into patterns like this, weather folks like me start talking about something called severe clear. Severe in the sense that it's just extremely clear over a large area. There's just very little happening weather-wise. This all adds up to great timing for the weekend. Yeah, it's going to be windy today. We talked about this over the last couple of days. As low pressure moves across the northern plains, when low pressure systems go to your north, you're going to get windy. This is something that made the spring so windy, if you remember that. I know a lot of you do. That low going across the Dakotas will make it windy today along the Continental Divide and east of the Divide. However, those winds will relax. There'll still be some breeziness Saturday, but even Saturday, winds wind down. Boy, I tell you, it is going to be a gorgeous weekend. Get outdoors if you can. Grab the camera. Get those fall colors captured as we're looking at a great weekend coming on up. And this is going to stick with us. We're going to be in severe clear probably through at least Tuesday of next week. So enjoy it. Now, mid to late week, we do see a little bit of Pacific moisture sneaking in, and I do see some showers, especially late next week and towards next weekend. So there's a bit of a change as we get into that first weekend of October. Not a big one, but a little one. In the meantime, any big change is going to wait till early October, so enjoy this nice weather. And don't forget, let's check out those fall colors if you get a chance this weekend. It's really the next 2 weeks. In many areas of the Central and Northern Rockies, your best opportunity. Don't forget to send your pictures of the fall colors. We did this last year, had a lot of submissions, and a lot of folks enjoy seeing the fall colors, especially for those folks that maybe can't get out. So share your photos to podcast@dayweather.com, and we'll show folks the fall colors across the Intermountain West as we're hitting the peak season. Today's satellite imagery showing the low up here in western North Dakota and eastern Montana. Pretty impressive little curl here. Well, that's what brought all of our weather here over the last 48 hours. As it tracks to the north and east, those strong winds aloft will come on in. But look how clear the rest of the western United States is. And we have also seen a big reduction in the amount of smoke coming out of the wildfires in the northwest United States. Those fires are not completely out yet, but they certainly have gone down significantly. This is where we're going to be today. The low going across North Dakota, the high suppressed across the southern plains. Fiona headed towards Nova Scotia late tonight and tomorrow. That's on track to bring a big storm to those areas up there. And there's the wind that will be developing along and east of the Divide in that tight gradient, that tight pressure gradient that you see there. But look at that high pressure ridge building over the Intermountain West. So from New Mexico through the Four Corners region up to Montana, back to California, it's just going to be a really, really nice stretch of weather with this impressive trough coming into the Great Lakes in the east. This is what's left of Fiona up here by early next week. And there's Hermine coming. It's going to be developing. It is now a tropical depression and is going to be heading right just south of Cuba. And right now the computer modeling is starting to line up. So with it lining up, watch out Florida, because as we have talked about, hurricanes are attracted to low pressure systems. So it's going to be a hurricane that's going to want to be attracted to that trough in the Great Lakes and moving up into New England later on. And we'll take a closer look at that here in a minute. Over the next 3 days, look at the lack of precipitation. We've got a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity down into Arizona and New Mexico just from the heat of the day and some residual moisture since it's been so wet down there this summer. But the rest of the West, nada, very little happening weather-wise with precipitation. This is Wednesday. Notice on Wednesday of next week, we still have the high pressure in the west, and then here, it's headed towards Florida. We'll take a closer look here in a minute. This trough is likely to not be a strong one, but will slip in next weekend with maybe another one behind it. So as we get into October, things get a little more busy, and this is by next Saturday. By next Saturday, we've got a low somewhere in the interior west. That'll bring a bit of a change in the weather front and a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity with the other stronger one building in behind it. So let's take a look at what the models are doing. You're going to notice after a few days of a huge disparity in the model trends, they're now sort of converging on a general solution. There's still is a lot of variability, and hurricanes far out are extremely tricky. But it is definitely looking like Florida's under the gun. This is the European model by Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And be advised, the timing of this hurricane could really be different depending on what happens, whether it crosses the mountains of Cuba, whether it skirts around Cuba before turning north. We'll have to see. So this is the European model. This is the American model. Notice the American model is further west again and stronger. And what's interesting is the American model, being a little further west, still takes it northeast. And look at that. It goes right into Tampa. If the American model is correct, that general Tampa area could really be under the gun for potential hurricane in the middle of next week. And as we take a look at the Canadian model, it's actually pretty similar. So you can see how they're coming together, those solutions are. So looks like Florida's under the gun. And this is the wind swath forecast of hurricane winds with that as it goes up north and east. And we'll continue to monitor that. Certainly by Monday, we'll know a lot more. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy it. It's going to be a great one.